And I remember at that time, right, I did 100 t-shirts, right, and I sold out within a month, basically. But I just understood that I wanted to do more. In the space of 2-3 months, I had 2 clients from the UK. And those clients from the UK were for beauty brands. So like we branded the beauty brands from scratch, right? So when I did it, I was paying in pounds, of course, right? And so one day I did 100 times 2, right? And I won 200. That's 100k profit, right? I feel like that was the devil capturing me into that thing, right? Because after that, right, I lost 100 again. I lost another 100. Then now my reason was that, okay, since I've lost 200, I need to use 200 on 2 odds to get 400 to make up for that.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Eagles Insights, the show where kings and queens speak. And on today's episode, once again, I have a new face. I'm getting tired of new faces too, but today we have
Haniel Amal.
Yes, so guys, Haniel will be running the show with me today. My name remains Beko Joy.
We know.
Don't be that person. On today's show, we have a guest that I'm excited about. I think Haniel is more excited about this guest than I am.
Because he's my guy. But go on, say what
You've tried. But our guest for today is a brand designer, is a producer, and is also a student.
And a product designer.
How university students do a lot. But our guest today is none other than
Victor Emmanuel James.
Welcome to the show, EJ, right?
Yeah. EJ's fine, totally.
So welcome to Eagles Inside.
Bombastic excitement.
Okay, so let's start. Let's start with the basics.
Okay.
An introduction. Tell us who you are, exactly what you do.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, my name is EJ Emmanuel James Victor, actually, but EJ is for short. Yeah. So basically, I'll call myself a techpreneur. That means just like a mixture of technology and entrepreneurship, right? So I just delve into brand building, brand strategy, brand positioning, brand identity, and a whole lot of that. Then on the side, I do music stuff, right? Then that's what just delves me into production and a whole lot of things like that. I feel like those are 2 centers of my life, basically.
Okay, but you're also a student, so tell us about your course.
Yeah, then fortunately, unfortunately, I'm an EI student, right? So for those of us that are also in the system understand the intricacies of being an EI student, right? So it's really hard combining both of them with work and with my hobbies and a couple of things, but I feel like I'm pulling through actually.
How is that? After being arrested,
Thank you so much.
In this video, it's like, guys, it's a very easy video. That video was very inspirational about training, everything. How does that carry you to balance your academic, social progress with your business?
Okay, so I feel like the watchword for me, right, is balance, right? Because I just feel like nothing has to suffer for the other one to progress, right? But another thing is most times one has to go for the other. For example, this week I just finished writing tests, right? So I was unable to do anything major as regards to work, right? So I had to focus on school stuff, right? But from now, from today, immediately I woke up, right? I knew that I had a lot of things to do, right? So I have to make up for the time, right? So if I'm back by minus 100, right? I need to use time to make up for that 100 that I've done basically. But I also need to understand that for the fact that I'm in Covenant University, right? Anything concerning school is primary. So every other thing I'm doing in secondary is probably I'm home, then I can use that time to make up for it basically.
So at the beginning I asked you what you do. So I want to ask you why did you want to do it? How did you come into this?
Alright. So I feel in 2018, far back as 2018, I was in SS2 basically. So what exactly happened was that I feel like there was just this influx of youth creating brands, fashion brands, and I feel like that was the in thing then at that time, right? So I didn't usually have an idea of what was going on, but I just wanted to do it, right? So I started, right? So I started a brand, and at that time it was called Zaddy TM. Reason being that people used to call me Zaddy, right? Very stupid name. People used to call me Zaddy at that time, right? So I just factored it into something. So TM means trademark, so Zaddy TM, right? So good enough, I started December 12th, 2018, right? Basically. And I remember at that time, right, I did 100 t-shirts, right? And I sold out within a month, basically. But I just understood I wanted to do more. And where the deficit was exactly was the fact that I used to pay people to design my stuff. basically, right? So when I'm calculating my profit, right, I have to calculate the cost of printing a t-shirt, okay, designing the t-shirt, okay, like deliver a t-shirt to me, right? Then profit is my selling price minus all of those costs, right? So I feel like in the long run it wasn't going to be economical, right? So little by little I started designing stuff basically, right? So just from me designing my own brand, a couple of people started like contacting me to brand stuff for them. Okay, well, we have this church program. Can you design this stuff and brand t-shirts for us? Okay, we have this burial. Okay, can you do mugs? Can you do this for us, right? So basically, then when I was just looking at it, right, I just wanted to like just factor tech into it, right? So all of a sudden, like around the beginning of this year, I started seeing most of things concerning tech and like brand building on my like Twitter page and everything. So what I just said was that like I can do this. Because the thing is, tech is wide, right? Brand identity is part of it, UI UX is part of it, web dev is part of it, application development is part of it, right? So basically, right, it was like a fusion of what I used to do, right? But just adding tech to it. So I just started like that.
I like how you have all the dates and then you have the details. Shows that you actually take.
What do you
That's none of your business, actually.
Hmm.
So another question.
Very quickly. I like the whole press story. Shows that somewhere on public speaking and obvious exponential growth. What exactly is your motivation? What makes you up in the morning? You have to do this.
Alright, so like far back also, I feel like my greatest motivation right now, right, is the history of my childbirth, actually. So like me coming into life, right, it was a struggle for me to come in, right? I don't know, probably because of my head is exponentially big or whatever it is, right? So like I just think that like a lot of things had gone into it, right? So like my mom just keeps reminding me that like, oh, I'm different, right? And so like me myself, right, like I feel like I've taken that as like a belief that I'm different, right? So like when everybody is doing something, I don't want to do it, right? Like I want to do things differently, right? Another thing is I love financial stability in the sense that like I want to be able to like something and be able to afford it, right? Another thing is most people in our generations and this our age and time, right, have money, but most of them are from illegitimate sources, right? So like I'm trying to break the bias of like trying to have money, but actually getting it through legitimate sources basically. So I want to work and be different, just make my money.
Have you ever tried illegitimate?
Funny enough, I have a story.
No, you can't say that.
No, I can say it over here. I have a story. So the thing is, far back as January 2022, okay, let's say December 2021, entering January 2022, right? I was undergoing a very tough phase of my life, right? Heartbreak and stuff, right? So like when that happened, I just felt like I lost my moral compass of what exactly I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do as per my beliefs and values, right? So what happened is that during that time, there was just this high rise of betting, right? So I tried it. Now, yeah, I'm a victim of sporting, right? And I'm a proud victim of sporting. Now, the reason being that, now, so the way this thing works is that it sucks you into it, right?
Yeah.
Making you feel like you can actually win a lot of money, right? But then on the long run, like you lose more money than you win, but you don't realize till you do like a calculation of what your expenses.
Are people listening?
So this is what happened, right? So like when I started, right, I feel like I'm someone that I love big profit. I don't want to do 100 naira and win 300 naira. What am I going to do 200 naira extra, right? Okay, so like I just think the least I used to do at that time was 10, 20. At the time I did 50 and then so like, I don't know, I feel like my covetousness struck in, right? And so one day I did 100 times 2, right? And I won 200. That's 100k profit, right? I feel like that was the devil capturing me into that thing, right? Because after that, right, I lost 100 again. I lost another 100. Then now my reason was that, okay, since I've lost 200, I need to use 200 on 2 odds to get 400 to make up for that. And then I did 200, right? Then I lost 400. In total, I lost 550 thereabout. I remember losing that 550. The first person I called was Femi. Like, oh, my life has spoiled. Right? Good and fine. So like after that, right, I just told myself that like, okay, I have the zeal to make this money, right? But like I have to do it in the right way, if not I'm going to keep losing money. I feel like that was just like the starting turning point in my life, basically.
Do the right way.
Do you see yourself like having like a mentorship program? I feel like you have a good story, a good message to pass to people. Do you see yourself being in that position, having like talk show, think you have to make this money?
First of all, I'm following God's plan for my life. That's something I'm very keen on following, right? That's because like I've tried a lot of things in my life, and I just realized that like when I don't hear God say go, He always fails. You can work for a long period of time, but like you will never last eternity, right? So like I've had to go for something from next year, 2024, around January, February, right? Check is going to be starting something we call CNG. That's called Check Next Gen. So what are we doing there, right? It's just like a fusion of tech plus leadership, right? You're going to mentor in the next generations of people that want to venture into tech, people that want to make money legitimately through tech and whatever they want to do. So like there are plans in the work to do Check Next Gen from next year, right? So it's going to be me and a lot of other people that like I feel like are very, very, very blessed in the leadership and tech phase, basically. So from next year, something exciting is coming actually.
Yeah, you guys heard it. Something exciting.
And you heard it here first.
They heard it.
You're always trying.
Focus on the guests.
That's why,
Focus
if
on-
you're ever looking for leaders to talk, please make sure you strike his name out. It doesn't have anything to tell
How would
people.
you strike my name out if it's not there in the first place? How confident?
Hey! You never just shake my head.
As we were on the show and showing go. Not even.
No, you can't know because you're not a master student, so you don't know anything.
Okay.
Please, moving on. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, Yoruba boy.
It's a sub. It's actually a
Yoruba boy.
sub. You're here as a substitute and you're busy. So, and lastly, is there anything apart from Check Next Gen, are there some big projects that you've taken on that you were actually proud to be the one that did this? Like, what has been your biggest project that you've done that you can say, I'm proud that this was the work of my company for me?
All right, so basically in tech, two things. There's something we call NDA, right? So NDA is a non-disclosure agreement, right? Basically, so I'm working on a couple of big projects, right? All right, so like I'm looking at it becoming very big things, right? All right, so big projects I worked on, right? Okay, so like let's divide it into branding and tech itself, right? So the branding project, right? I worked on two things simultaneously: a burial and an 80th birthday for somebody, right? So that was the first time me branding notebooks, mouse pads, mugs, bags, nylons, and a whole lot of things, right? So another thing is, I feel like most of the things I've learned, right, I've learned on the job. And that's because before then, I knew nothing about those kind of things, right? But I had to do them because the person already had the ideology, right, that I could do it. Because I just felt like it was going to be wrong for me to mess up or like disappoint the person, right, basically. So when everything came together, the budget of that thing was close to 3.5 million, right? And so when that money came into my account, I was scared. I was scared so like I don't mess it up, right? Basically, right? But like after the long run, like when I got home, right? Because I was handling everything from school. So when I got home, right? When I saw everything real life, I was very happy. Right? That's because like I could see the design on my laptop, right? And I could see the real life project of what was going on. So that's one. Basically, another one is in the space of like I started Check May 4th. So let's say give or take about 5-6 months now. In the space of 2-3 months, I had 2 clients from the UK. And those clients from the UK were for beauty brands. So like we branded the beauty brands from scratch, right? So when I did it, I was paying in pounds, of course, right? Those are 2 projects I'm proud of, right? Basically. Yeah, so basically, I feel like another project I'm excited for is quite NDA at the moment, right? It's an FCME project, right? So we're just looking to just like rebrand a couple of the deliverables, notes, badges, cups, pens, and books, and like stuff like that, right? So like I have the files, I've sent proposals and everything, right? So I'm just waiting for a feedback so we can continue with the project, basically.
Okay. So, last question for round. What has been your major challenge?
A major challenge, combining with school.
Yeah. And also on that note, I like to say thank you. The design our shirt, by the way.
Yes. Hi guys.
Fine, so guys.
Check this one design our shirts.
Very beautiful design.
Okay, now for this segment is called Two Truths and a Lie. So you're going to give us 3 statements, and then Hannah and I have to decide which is a lie.
Okay, so 3 statements. Number 1, I have a car. Number 2, I have a ticketing company coming up. Number 3, I have a brother and a sister.
Oh yeah, now the braids. No sir.
You have a ticketing company coming up. Does not have a brother in the car. And then it does. And that's that. Then the lie is the lie. That's lie.
The lie is because they have a
You
brother.
can have a car. Sorry.
But you just said it's an only child.
Yeah? So
Only
many
child.
child.
That means the lie that is brother.
Victor.
You know, thinking this thing properly.
can ask follow-up questions. What can you
You you have to tell me the two truths and a lie.
Okay,
There's
okay.
no.
Okay, because
I mean, I can believe that he has a car. Actually, he has a car.
but the thing about EJ is EJ has priority. He knows that okay, EJ has a car, I saw the car. EJ has a car, and the ticketing company coming up.
So he's an only child. So the lie is that he has a brother and
Oh,
sister.
can I also take
No, we can't. Why are you always looking for the short stuff?
I'm an engineering student.
Very sad. Okay, so we're sticking with the fact that the lie is that he has a brother and sister. But somehow you mentioned, I don't even know, you didn't mention the person.
It's miraculous about it.
Yeah, I said his child
He has a
was
big head.
different. He said his own birth was different. That just goes to show that there was
He
something
has a
else.
big head. There's no
That shows there was something else that happened that made his child birth different.
oh yeah.
Okay, rounding up. The lie is that you have a brother and a sister.
I get to agree. Should I get to tell you
You
guys
have
the
to tell us the truth, right?
truth? So basically, you're correct up to an extent. I actually have just a brother, but I don't have a sister. I have another brother actually.
And was you correct?
Yeah, I said you're correct to an extent.
Like yeah, you do that shit.
No.
Yeah,
You have a
that's it.
car.
So
Yeah, I do.
right, he has a car. I said driving it.
Once again, thank you. I don't know why you mentioned Ibadan with such
Oh, is
disdain.
that where you stay?
That's
No, that's where Femi stays, but that's not where
That's where
I
you
stay.
stay.
No,
You have to stay in Lagos. You have to stay in Ibadan.
I stay in Lagos now.
You see, for some people, some Ibadan people,
Thank you so much, EJ, for
How do you
coming
like
to
Ibadan?
Can you not?
when people have them.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate it.
It's a
I
pleasure.
think one thing you've really done for us today is like give a lot of insight
Yeah, it goes
into
inside.
a lot of insights into how money should actually be made and things that should actually motivate a person.
Yeah.
And I think I've learned from this personally. So really, thank you for being on the show today.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you. And if there's anybody you want to give a shout out to, anybody you want to say thank you to, now would be the time to do that. You can just
I want to thank you to a couple of people. First and foremost, God, my parents. Yeah, then like I have like crazy support system around me. Femi, my
Who is this family guy?
it's just one of those my guys. My is a troublemaker. So
Is this short?
like short people are usually close to the ground.
Is this from
Yeah.
Ibadan too?
It's like Femi, Fez, Nusa, Charles, a couple of all my guys, basically. Yeah, and my Now I'm not going to mention any girl's name because I have to mention all of them.
Only more than one.
Wait, are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
You're single.
Very much single.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure, dude.
See you. Alright.
Thank you so much once again for
You're
being
welcome.
on this show, and we appreciate your time.